Viewers, we bring you the stories that matters most, stories that impact your world. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, we are committed to delivering unbiased reporting that informs, educates, and empowers you. Stay tuned as we delve into the heart of the matter, uncovering truth, challenging perspective, and sparking conversation that shapes our society. Join us on this journey as we navigate the complexities of our world together. Welcome to News New Chronicle, where knowledge is power and the truth prevail. Let's dive in. Welcome back to News New Chronicle. Some time ago, I made a video about a man of God, and I want to still post another of his videos so that you watch. if you didn't watch the first one, please go back and check my channel. You see it. Watch the first one and understand what he's trying to say. You see, it gives me a lot of joy when young pastors, young reverends come up and then see the truth as it is, stand against what our leaders are doing, and they are not afraid of what will happen after. They are not afraid of what these people will say. They are not afraid of what they will do. Yes, this person I'm talking about is no other person than Pastor Pascal Chukudi, a son of Apostle Arome Osai, yes, of the Remnant Christian Network. He made a video. I don't know why I didn't stumble upon this video earlier on, but it's not out of place. I want you to watch the video. I want you to understand what he's trying to say. After watching the video, please do well to drop your comment, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and then also share the video. All right, let's watch what the video and hear what he has to say.
We just concluded our presidential elections and the governorship elections in our nation, Nigeria, and we saw some kind of interesting bigotry playing out in the political space. We saw that politicians were trying to take advantage of the tribal sentiments we already have as a nation, the religious sentiments we already have, which has always been their tool in dividing the people, conquering them, and leading them. And the last election was not different, because we saw the case of Lagos, where they had to create this scenario of a particular tribe coming to take over the land of another particular tribe. And this was at the time when elections has gotten to its peak. People were trying to make decisions on who they are going to vote for, who they are going to accept as their leader. And a tribal bigot is playing this card just to change people's mind and make people see things from a different perspective. I'm making this video primarily to prove few things. First is that in the political space, bigotry is just a tool that politicians are taking advantage of to divide the people. There is no politician that truly loves his tribe or loves the other people per se. We need to understand that we are primarily Nigerians, and the politicians that always try to divide us along tribal lines are doing this to their advantage. And I want to advise that everybody watching this video should not play along with that kind of card that's already going on. There are a few things I want to say about the Igbos, who has been under attack in cities like Lagos for attempting to vote for a candidate that is also a Yoruba. The major contenders in that election in Lagos were three Yoruba people majorly, and these three Yoruba people, some are claiming some are from Lagos, some are not from Lagos, and you know the whole thing that happens in a nation like ours, where you are from is a reason why you can perform well or you might not be able to perform well. And these things keep happening and nobody's talking about them. We need to understand that the Igbos as a tribe, for instance, might make investments in your land, but no Igbo man has come out to say he wants to take your land, he wants to take your property, or he wants to take over what your forefathers give you. I think it's some kind of wickedness for people to cook up this kind of stories, knowing that the people in question are people that loves their home. I do not know any other tribe in Nigeria that travels home, better than the Igbo people, that makes investments, in fact, not just in the town within their locality, but in their village. They believe in their fatherland. They believe you should build there. They believe you should visit there every year. They believe you should be buried there. Some Igbo people die as far as United States and many European nations, and you see people charter aircraft just to bring them home to their fatherland to bury them. Why do they want to take your land? What exactly are they going to do with it, if not just business? Nobody, no Igbo person is coming out to outrightly say he's taking over a property that belongs to somebody else. This is something that sham politicians are just making up to divide us along tribal lines. Number two thing you need to notice this. Nobody has actually snatched any land from anybody in this country. You know, the previous government came in and they were talking about Ruga and many other ways they wanted to allow a particular tribe from the northern part of Nigeria find space and footing in various places all over the country. As a nation, we fought it, we resisted them, and we did not want this to happen, knowing the antecedents of that tribe and the things they are known for. They have a history of some kind of violence, and nobody wants to accommodate this kind of system in their land. If you're fighting not to accommodate a violent person in your land, it's different from fighting against somebody that is there to develop your land, to make things better, and he becomes somebody you are fighting. You want to kill him, you want him to go and all that. I think it's not very right. And in this second point, I want you to also note that nobody snatched the land. Like I said, if you sell your property to somebody and then you cry foul after collecting the money, I think the person that is wicked in that context is the person that sold the property. You cannot sell a piece of land to somebody. The person buys and gives you money, you spend the money, and then you begin to call out on the buyer as a crime suspect for buying the land that you sold. I don't think this is right. I think this is outright wickedness and must not be allowed in our society. The number three thing I want to say in this regard is we must try to resist this culture of laziness. We are trying to institute a culture of laziness in this country by crying foul when we should be taking the same energy we're using to fight other people to fight and work hard. People sit down and fight people working, people that have a track record of consistency, people that have a track record of hard work, people that have a track record of investment abilities and knowing how to grow the resources available to them. Fighting them will not stop them from having those abilities. You need to understand this. We must learn to resist the culture of fighting people that are making progress. It seems to be a normal thing in our nation that anybody making real progress is probably a criminal. People term you criminals. Young boys all over the nation begins to make money, begins to get better, begins to do a lot for themselves, and then they are called Yahoo boys. Somebody buys a decent phone from the work he's doing, and then somebody calls him a criminal. You see police brutality, and you see these things happen again and again. Since when did becoming a successful person become a crime in our nation? We must resist this culture of hatred for hard work, hatred for people that are committed to making things work. There's a man I love so much in the western part of the nation that has influenced my life so much in the area of hard work and diligence, and he's a very sound preacher of it, even when you consider his age. His name is Bishop David Oyedepo. I know he's somebody that works so hard, gives so much attention to the things he does, and is very careful. He believes in refining his abilities and making great things out of the few things that God has given him, which you see evidently is working for him. He's an example I believe every other person should look at. But people look at these people and look away as though it's a tribe that is the issue. I know a lot of Yoruba people that are making significant progress in systems, in societies, in different places, and we should not be fighting these people. Nigerians that are Yorubas, some of them went out to vote in the election, and just because they look good, they look decent, they look like they are well-to-do, some people, lynched on them, fought them, tore their skins, beat them up, and assumed they were Igbo. Just because they are making progress, they are doing well with their lives. If you study the polity of nations, you will find out there are many Nigerians scattered here and there doing a lot of things for the country. In places like United States, Georgia, for instance, I think we have about 6 Nigerians in the parliament. 6 Nigerians in the parliament. We have Nigerians like Gabe Okoye, I want to read out the names to you because I have some of their names in this place. We have the likes of Gabe Okoye. They are doing very well in Georgia. We have the likes of Shegu Adeniya. Shegu Adeniya has been there in Georgia. He's part of the representatives in that state, and they are doing a great job. We have Solomon Adesanya. Many of us have heard about Solomon Adesanya. He has been there, and many other people, the likes of Philoy Olayele, Tish Nagishi, and nobody in that nation is crying foul because of these people. They are contributing their best, and they are Nigerians in foreign nations becoming members of parliament. Even if you go as far as Pennsylvania is still in the United States, you find out that there is this brother Kazim, I think Carlos Kazim, I don't know how to call his name, Karo Kazim or something. He's there as a member of parliament. It was last year I was going through the news, and we saw in the state in a Nigerian country here in Rwanda, in one of the universities in Rwanda, that a Nigerian, I think is a Dr. Nusa, that is the name, Dr. Nusa, somebody you can verify the information I'm giving you, is made the vice chancellor of the university, and they are doing well everywhere they find themselves. How come when we get home here and we're expected to be working together to support each other to make things work right, we're fighting ourselves along religious and tribal lines? I believe it is not just us fighting ourselves, that politicians are the ones instigating this kind of actions, and it is happening in our society. The last point I want to raise on this matter is this. Whenever you put gun in the hand of a security agent, right, you can do well to go back home and sleep and have rest and be fine and know that everything is under control. Weapons in the hands of security agents is for defense and not necessarily to kill. But if you have guns in the hands of a criminal, you know you don't have a night's rest that day. You might have to stay awake all night. You might have to watch. You might even have to be on the run for your life. The problem is not the weapons. The problem is in whose hands is it. Politicians are consistently taking advantage of tribal bigotry, of tribal sentiments, of bigotry, of religious differences to divide us. And you know, Nigerians at this time with disobedient movements have so much united, especially the youths, and they're about to chart a proper course for their life and destiny. And from nowhere, you see a politician come to introduce the same weapons that they have used to frustrate Nigerians, especially the Nigerian youths, over the year, divide them and conquer them. And it looks like nothing good is coming out of our nation. I want to encourage everybody, whether Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, that truly loves this nation, to jettison these advances they are making at us and allow us to come together as one to build a proper nation, a nation that we can be proud of, a nation that our children can be proud of. I want to say this before I go. I love Yoruba people too well. I love them so much from my heart that I will not allow a politician to be the reason for the hate. Of course, I am Igbo from the eastern part of Nigeria, but I love the Yoruba people, and a politician will not be a reason for the hate. Secondly, I'm a sound Christian. I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, and I know what the Bible preaches. I believe that the blood of Jesus is stronger and more powerful than the blood that runs on cultural lines. I believe the blood of Jesus supersedes every other thing we're trying to build along cultural lines. This is why I believe we have people from the West, people from the North, and every part of the world who have come to submit to the authority of Jesus, and we have extended the right hand of fellowship to them as brothers, loving them, knowing we are coming under the authority of Jesus. Because the Bible says he has called us out of every tribe, out of every people, out of every nation, to make us unto our God a tribe of kings and priests. He says, and we shall reign with him on the earth. A politician will not make me think differently about my brother from probably another tribe or whatever inclination he has towards blood group and bloodline and all that. So I'm encouraging everybody, all the young people watching me, I want you to remain steadfast. The obedience movement is beyond OB. It is God stretching forth his hands from heaven and organizing the people to bring deliverance to our dear nation, Nigeria. This is a time we must not joke with. This whole thing is geared to making sure that the future of the Nigerian youth are not seen. And we must be able to stop tribal bigots who are pushing this narrative and wants to keep us plundered, wants to keep us wasted, and wants to keep us in penury. God bless you. This is Life and Godliness with Pascal. See you next time.
All right, the video you just watched is in the person of Reverend Pascal Chukwudi. Yes, you see, just like he rightly said, The Igbos are not here to collect your land. Yes, we know the particular tribe that are interested, that are good in collecting people's land and also sending the people who has the land packing. Yes, we know that tribe and we know what they are known for. But the Igbos are not those kind of people. The Igbos, you see, even though this video was made during the election, it still plays, you see, everything he's saying is still relevant even in the present now. In the present now, the truth is, what is happening to the Igbos now are exactly what he said. What is happening to some part of the state in the country, Nigeria, right now, are still what he's saying. So the truth is, until we come and have that oneness, that unity, we will keep on fighting deep ourselves, not knowing what is really the problem with us. Yes, we will not get to that point where we need to go as Nigeria. But you see, when people like this come and speak out, they are not just speaking for the standpoint of just knowledge. They are believers. Yes, they are spiritual persons. They are speaking from the standpoint of both areas. Yes, experience and also the area of spirituality. Now, come to think of it, an Igbo man that when he dies outside the states wants to be brought back to his own state to be buried. Even if he dies outside the country, he wouldn't want to be buried outside the country, want to be brought back. What will make that Igbo man to be struggling your land with you, for crying out loud? An Igbo man don't have that time to do that. The only thing he has the time to do is to make sure that anything he wants to do, he does it. And anything he is doing, he makes sure he come back home. Every December, Igbo man comes back home. That's the gospel truth. So please, we stand for what the Igbo stand for what they are known for. And the Yoruba should understand it. Yes, they should understand this. And even though we lost the election, we will still have a chance to prove to these people that we know of a truth what we are doing, and we won't allow them, yes, we won't allow them make mess of what we are doing. That's just it. And that's just the gospel truth. So once again, if this is the first time of coming across our channel, do what to give us a thumbs up, give us a like, drop your comments in the comment section.